They calling?
Yeah.
Turn it up. No. Speak from.
We're going to do this live?
Yeah.
Hello?
This is Jordan.
Jordan, this is Alana calling from the Management Contracting Office. I was just following up with you to see if you got you an opportunity to send me an email and I didn't receive it, or...
Yeah, hi, Alana. This is Sean. I'm a senior project manager for New Electric. I was just kind of walking by. Jordan and I had spoke a little bit about this job. We received your email. Let me see if I can get a copy of it. Hold on just a second. Yeah, okay, I've got the email that you sent. It looked like you were looking for some clarification. In other words, you had asked if the $1,300 was a lump sum payment for the delivery, or was it per each machine?
Yes.
But I'd like to get some further clarification. Was there a reason why you were asking that?
Well, it wasn't me asking. I think I know what the answer is. It's the customer that was asking. I mean, in my opinion, it was stand to reason that it is the $1,300 for the total delivery of all pieces of equipment on line item 1. But I wanted to, so you didn't ask me the question, and that's how I have seen it traditionally in the world of contracting. But he doesn't know that, so he just asked me.
Well, was he asking because he thought we were low? Because when I started looking at this thing, it looked like we might be low.
No, he's just asking overall because he's really new to the organization, and we're not really sure right now. So that's why he asked the question, just to make sure that when you were providing a proposal, this was the intent, and maybe it was not the intent. I'm not sure.
Sure.
So before you make a decision on how to move forward with it, is that correct?
Well, I've actually got some phone calls into our suppliers. This is quite a big order, as I'm sure you understand, to pull this many tractors together and in a short amount of time frame that you're talking about. And still, we're kind of in the negotiation phase of this thing, so an award hasn't been made. So my next question is, what happens if, as my suppliers are pulling, for instance, if I can only get 6 tractors and I need 2 more and they have to be pulled from 1,000 miles away and trucked over the weekend to be there Monday, that's going to be significantly more. What happens if the price is higher?
Well, that's why it's always good to be on the higher end, in my opinion, because if it's less, that's fine. If it's more, that's not good.
Okay. What would be, let me ask you this, what would be the absolute latest today that you could get a firm number from us after we've coordinated all this, that we could get, would an award be able to be made today?
That's a very good question, John. And this is where we are finding out, that the priorities are changing quite often. So I think initially when I spoke to Jordan, I had indicated that they had asked for delivery sometime next week. So it appears that will be changing. So I don't put you in a predicament, but so let's I don't know what to tell you on that portion. So maybe what we'll do, and you don't need to give me a proposal or an answer to that question today. So I'm going to check with the customer this morning to try and determine some type of date, because we're putting contractors in a position of, wait a minute, you want this many? Well, give me a clear ability so I can negotiate with the contractor to determine what is in fact correct.
Sure.
Working with you.
Well, we have the capability to pull this thing together in your time frame, but normally when something is so critical time frame wise, and you're pulling so many types, the same piece of equipment but multiple pieces, normally there's a budget associated with kind of an accelerated schedule, accelerated shipping. I mean, like, what happens if it's $10,000 to have all these machines delivered from different parts of the country, you know, what would happen next?
Yes, I understand what you're saying. So let's put that first question aside for now, because I'll talk with you this morning.
Well, let me ask you this, Alana. Can we do a conference call?
Well, definitely. Definitely.
What's the phone? Who's the person that you're dealing with?
Yes. Well, you want to touch on this. You say you're the Bell District. Yes, you do. Bell District of Oregon. So,
What's his name?
Bill Luchin.
Luchin?
L-U-T-J-E-N-S.
Okay. Can you call him, and do you want me to do the conference part of it, or can you do the conference part of it? What's his phone number? Oh, you have to facilitate.
Yeah, I do. So I do appreciate your
It's L-U-T like Thomas, J like Juliet, E-N-S.
That's correct.
Okay. Hold on just one moment. We're pulling something up over here. What branch did you say his office is out of?
Bell District.
D-A-L-E. This one. D-A-L-E, yes.
Okay. About how long do you think it would take to facilitate that? Or let me ask you this. How long would it take for you to find out how long it would take to get a hold of him?
Well, after we get off the phone, I'm going to call her, and I have to see what can you give me a timeline, because the contractor cannot answer these questions if you don't know when you need instructors. So I'm hoping it won't take long, and we have we won't be, our office will be at another location in about an hour from now, so we won't be making too much progress today, Sean, but for sure tomorrow. So I'd like to press him to get this information such that your company can be, actively pursuing what the need is. So understand that we won't be able to resolve too much today, but we will be able to take some action tomorrow.
Sure, I understand, Alana. One more quick question.
Sure.
First of all, you're scheduled to work all day tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
And will you be at your office all day today if we need to be on the phone with you?
No, I think we're going to, well, even today, we're going to a team building exercise, and it's out of the office.
Okay, so I have another question. It's important for me to know if I'm the only person that you guys are talking with about this, because if I'm trying to pull 8 tractors together and somebody else is pulling 8 tractors together, that could cause a serious problem amongst the suppliers trying to meet our demands.
Understand, and I appreciate the question, and I'm working with another contractor.
Okay.
That's a fair question, so I do appreciate your concern. It's just a matter of the location, because you're located somewhere else and they're located somewhere else. But that's neither here nor there at this point.
Well, but it's actually quite critical, because if he's calling the same rental places that we're calling, and we're both trying to acquire 8 tractors, that becomes a problem for the supplier. And it also raises the price, because who is he going to rent that equipment to? The guy who pays him more, right?
The guy who pays.
Look, if you're in the rental business of renting tractors and you have two companies calling you and saying, we want to rent 8 tractors, and you only have 8 tractors, who are you going to rent that to?
Understand.
So my question, I guess my question is, where we're at right now, are we within 10% of the other person? Are they higher? Are we lower? I mean, it becomes critical.
I understand, and both of you are within the competitive range, so, and that's the first thing, I think. What will really help most companies is that once we can determine a date, and I don't have that information yet, John, so I definitely will get that, we'll try to, get that from the customer today. So I will send the information to Jordan, or you also, Sean?
No, just send it to Jordan, and he can get it in front of my face. Hold on just one moment.
Sure.
What Jordan's trying to figure out is they came back and said, what if there's 1 tractor or 3 tractors? And he's saying, whoa, man, that's a big difference. I mean, you
Yeah,
asked
but we
for
won't
8.
know that until the conference call. We're on mute, obviously.
But to see if you can find that out today before she goes to her training.
So one of the critical components is, I just asked Jordan, because Jordan's like, hey, wait a second, are they going to need 1 extra or 3 extra? And that changes things quite a bit. So the conference call that we're talking about, what time are you leaving for your meeting?
Actually, it's 7:30 here, so just to come in at 7:30, and according to, we're supposed to leave here at 8. So I won't have too much time to really,
Okay, so let's make a plan B. Suppose plan B is tomorrow morning you come into the office and we set up the conference call for tomorrow morning because you're not available today. That's kind of why I wanted to get Bill's phone number, but I can understand if you don't have the authority to give that to me. Is there someone there that does have the authority to give it to me?
somebody keep my eye here, yeah, I think everyone's going to show up just before we get to the meeting.
But who would let me ask you this. I mean, we're talking about the federal government, and you work in a federal government office. I mean, even if the president gets hit by a bus this morning, there's somebody to stand in and do his work. So who's responsible for your duties when you're not there?
The chief from our office.
And is that person going to be available today?
We're all going to exercise. So I appreciate your, as I said earlier, you being as proactive as you are. But I know this is an item for her, of interest for her. So I will discuss it with her and our team diligence, and hopefully she was able to tie the customer down to know where we're headed with this, because this is a teaming effort with not only myself but another contract specialist. We're kind of, I have this phase, here's another phase, and we need to make sure that we're doing this in the right sequence of events.
Sure. How about the actual contracting officer? Who's the CEO of this project?
I will speak to her. So I'll let you know as soon as I know everything.
Okay, and what's the contracting officer's name?
Her name is Carrie Makamoto.
Wow, could you spell that for me?
Don't you know?
Oh, you already have it, Jordan? Jordan's already got it. Jordan's telling me he's already got it.
Because I think her name was on the solicitation.
Okay, so my next question is, so on Plan B, if we have this conversation tomorrow and we facilitate the conference call, do you have the capability to issue an award at some kind of reasonable time tomorrow?
Not myself, it would be Carrie.
Well, I understand that, but office policies, like, do you guys have the capability to move that fast?
That's correct.
Yes, you do.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Chuck, could you repeat that?
If we came to an agreement tomorrow during the conference call, how quickly can the award be made? What's typical?
She would be the authority.
Well, I know she has the authority. I'm not asking you an authority question. I'm asking you a time frame question. Is that something that normally happens in an hour, or is that something that normally happens in 3 days?
In this office, I would say probably 2 to 3 days.
Okay, so even if we had an agreement, a potential agreement tomorrow, New Electric wouldn't see an award till possibly Tuesday of next week. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay, and then, so let me understand this. If the customer wants the agricultural trucks up there on Wednesday of next week, I've got to figure out how to get 8 tractors up there in less than 24 hours. Is that what we're talking about?
That's what it appears to be, John, and I don't really know until we can make a determination and he gives us a date. Because as I shared with Jordan last week, when I spoke with him last week, it was to be delivered this week.
Okay. Now, that's okay. I've got some more questions. You told me you don't have to leave for half an hour, so I got a few more questions. My next question is, suppose that I go back to my suppliers and I accumulate all these tractors and I accumulate that it can happen in 24 hours and I price it that way. And then you go and award it to the other guy because he didn't know that he's got to provide him in possibly 24 hours and he bids half the amount that I bid. I'm telling you right now that if you award that contract to him, I'm going to protest it.
Okay, well, that's a fair determination because part of our job here is to be fair and reasonable to all parties that provided a proposal. So that's where we need to make sure that all of you have the same information.
Okay.
So know that, and I appreciate your honesty because that's part of where it's our job to make sure.
But understand that if I protest it, they're not going to get their tractors next week no matter what.
Correct. Well, and like as I said, that's good that you're sharing your thoughts up front because definitely we want to be very reasonable to all parties. So that I'm not concerned about that because we definitely will take the avenue of being fair to your company as well as other companies. So additionally, we need to determine from the customer when do you need these tractors.
Well, what I would say is get off the phone with me right now and see if we can conference call and let's get this thing going.
That's why can I get off the phone with you?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your time.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Could it have been any more nailed to the wall?
Perfect.
Do you like that, Dad?
That was beautiful.
Protest that. No one getting tractors. Oh man. See, I usually try to sweet talk them, but you on the other.
No, it's a good guy, bad guy deal. Sean and I will often play the bad guy, right? They can hate us, that's okay. They can love you,
Yeah.
right? The feather in the stick, right?
Yeah. Well, we did the same thing with the Nebraska job, and we got awarded it.
Yep.
I was a nice guy. Sean came in with a strong arm because she was questioning our capability of being able to do the job. So we had informed her we were part of this membership, and then we got a conference call on with Sean, and she just didn't know what to say. And we got awarded the job like 2 days later.
Yep. You like that, money?
So not yeah. So
Don't you want somebody like me on your team that can call that?
Definitely.
So there was another contract.
And you didn't know that.
No.